Tonight you're going to see two of the best-known heavyweights in the world. Zora Folley, 35 years old, from Chandler, Arizona, who's been one of the world's outstanding heavyweights for the last decade. He was #1 contender for the world title 10 years ago, but it wasn't until this year that he got his chance against Muhammad Ali. He once knocked out Henry Cooper in 2 rounds. Brian London is 33. He was Henry Cooper's predecessor as British heavyweight champion. He lost the title in 1959. And now tonight, once more, he's trying to gain world recognition. He, too, has fought for the world title against Muhammad Ali. And now here is your MC, Nat Basser.
Gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. A 10 rounds international heavyweight contest of 3 minutes each round. Between and introducing to you from Arizona, USA, Zora Folley. And in this corner, the former British and Empire heavyweight champion from Blackpool, Brian London. This afternoon, Folley scaled 15 stone 2 pounds. London scaled 14 stone 2 3/4 pounds. Your officials appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, your referee, Mr. Harry Gibbs of London, your timekeeper, Mr. Johnny Wright of Liverpool, and your steward in charge, Lieutenant Colonel J.W. Lieutenant Colonel J.W. Glenn. Thank you.
The referee, Harry Gibbs, is one of the best referees in Britain. Comes from London. So Brian London from Blackpool against Zora Folley, one of the world's outstanding heavyweights for many years. Folley has only been beaten 8 times in 87 fights. Folley is a very talented boxer with a sharp right hand. It was the right hand that knocked out Henry Cooper, although Cooper previously had outpointed Folley. It's the right hand London must watch. Folley finds London as easy to hit as that. I shall be very surprised if London gets through 10 rounds. Looks to me as though he may have the start of a cut on his nose. 1-2 combinations from Folley are getting right through London's guard into his face. Well, London's taken the right hand 3 or 4 times, pretty hard. It's a big first round for Folley. London looking very apprehensive. Clearly Folley's round. Brian London didn't look at all happy. He took that left-right combination very early on in the first 20 seconds or so and got caught by it repeatedly throughout the round. And Brian London is really going to have a fight on his hands here with this deceptive Zora Folley, one of the world's best heavyweights for a long time. 87 fights. He's won 75, drawn 4, and lost 8. If you want to know what his punching ability is like, I only have to tell you that of his 75 wins, 41 have come inside the distance. Interesting man. He's got mixed Red Indian and Negro blood, and he's the father of 8 children, and there's another one on the way. He lives in a 10-roomed house in Phoenix, Arizona, with 8 kids. You need 10 rooms. This is the round in which Folley knocked out Cooper. Liverpool crowd, where London is so popular, are urging him to get in and have a go. It could be dangerous, and London knows it. Thrown a body punch, yet he finds London's head the easiest target he could want. Up inside. Folley looking as usual, almost bored, so such a professional, this man. Notice how very seldom Folley wastes a punch. Your head. London that time. He had a bad first round, but he had a much better second. He began to get aggressive, and he had one or two little successes, and he brought fleeting moments of concern to Foley's face when he began to attack. Bryan's been a professional since 1954. He fought Muhammad Ali for the world title in August last year at Earl's Court. He was knocked out in 3 rounds by the champion. Well, now Foley lasted 7 rounds with Muhammad Ali this year. I saw the fight at Madison Square Garden early this year, and Foley was knocked out in the 7th round, but not before he'd given the champion a little bit of trouble with some rather clever boxing. In fact, the only man to beat him in the last 4 years is the former Cassius Clay. And before that, the last man to beat him was Ernie Terrell back in July '63. Beginning to look clear that London has got to keep on top of Foley. He's got to crowd him, stay close to him, because this way he tends to tie him up and he doesn't get a chance to use his counter punches. Foley is at his most dangerous when they break away from one of those close quarter exchanges. Foley is a man now 35 years old who really should have fought for the world title and deserved to some 10 years ago when Floyd Patterson was the champion. But Patterson refused to fight Foley, and he never did get his chance in those days, and it's an amazing thing that, rather like Archie Moore, same sort of case, it isn't until almost at the end of his career that Foley managed to get his world title chance in March this year in New York with Muhammad Ali. But if he'd fought Patterson perhaps 10 years ago or a bit less, I think he might well have beaten Patterson at that time. Quick look at London. Only 6 men have ever beaten him inside the distance, and of these only 2 have knocked him out. He's a pretty tough boy, Bryan. He's had 51 fights, he's won 36 and lost 15, no draws. He's won 27 inside the distance, only 9 on points. heavyweight, very much more since the second round. And in fact, he now gives the impression of being rather on top of Folley the whole time. Folley is looking a little bit discouraged, particularly when London hustles him and crowds him like this. Folley looks very disinterested inside. Those are the moments of danger for London when he stands off. Mind your head, Folley. London has acquired a lot of confidence. When he's confident, London can turn in a good performance. Suspiciously near the borderline for Folley. One of the few body punches he's thrown. What a good right hand from London. One of the best punches of the fight. Head again, and London looking at Harry Gibbs. London really needs a win here at Liverpool Stadium tonight, because he obviously now sees himself in line for several good paydays now that Henry Cooper is coming towards the end of his career. Cooper has given an indication that he probably won't defend the British title again, and London undoubtedly is the #2 heavyweight in this country at 33. He outclassed Billy Walker. He beat him on points in 1965, and nothing has happened since really to show that anybody could take away London's place as the principal contender for the British Heavyweight Championship. But he's been beaten in the last 8 months, not only by Muhammad Ali, but also by Thad Spencer and Jerry Quarry, both of America. So he needs this win tonight to get back into world recognition. Fifth, and there can't be a lot in it, and I would think possibly London might even be a shade in front. Bigger effort in this round. determined fight by Brian London against Zora Folley has got the Liverpool crowd in a state of considerable excitement. I hope it has you, because I think this has got the makings now of being a really interesting contest. And, well, would you like to try and pick the winner at this stage? Whoever you chose, I don't think I'd argue. It's really anybody's fight. Zora Folley II, that's the full name of this man from Chandler, Arizona. Actually, he was born in Dallas, in Texas. When you look at the men who've beaten him, apart from a couple in his early days who don't mean much, the men who've beaten him are really top liners. Henry Cooper, Sonny Liston knocked him out in 3 rounds, Alejandro Lavarante of the Argentine, Doug Jones, Ernie Terrell, and Cassius Clay. Those are big names, and only big names seem to beat Folley. London could do a really good job for British heavyweight boxing tonight if he were to win this. Well, he's doing all right. Pressuring Folley a lot, and Foley's looking a bit tired. Been a good round for London. He's out jabbing and out boxing his man, but he must watch for the sneak right hand. Years old. He's 2 years older than London. And he's very heavy, 15'2", much heavier than I expected him to come in. He weighed about 14 and a half stone when he fought Muhammad Ali. Folley's worst round at 8. He had a bad one there, the 6th. He won no medals at all in the 6th round, and Folley now must be dropping behind. Now then, can this veteran of the ring pull this one out? He's going to have to go some, but he's looking a little bit tired. At 35, age is beginning to tell on him, and he looked very weary once or twice in that 7th round. Zora Folley making his 4th appearance in this country. London. Henry Cooper, of course, has beaten him 3 times. Henry always likes to say as a gag that he's won him outright. Last year, London lost to Thad Spencer of the United States. He outpointed him at Manchester, and this year he went to Los Angeles and got beaten on points by Jerry Quarry, who's now in the World Elimination Tournament. confidence. And when he's a confident man and on top, he really looks the goods, Brian. And he's having a good fight here now against Folley. Stadium, which is often known as the graveyard of champions because so many champions have come unstuck here, is one of the great centres of boxing in Britain, and this crowd here tonight are giving Brian London all the support he could possibly want. They really are right behind him. You heard the chanting during that round. He's getting tremendous support from this big crowd here at the stadium, and certainly tonight Brian could do a real job for British boxing, because this would be one of the best wins any British heavyweight has had over an American in recent years if he pulls this off. We know that Folley is a little bit past it at 35, but he's still a good fighter, he's still a dangerous man, and he still only gets beaten by the best heavyweights in the world. And if he gets beaten here tonight by Brian London, London's stock will go up on both sides of the Atlantic considerably. That'll be a pretty fair achievement for London at 33. Forcing it now for a good many rounds, taking the fight to Folley all the time, not punching tremendously hard. A lot of them are short little punches, but he's picking up points, and he's hustling this man the whole time. He's found a way to fight him after a very shaky start. But even so now, you still get the feeling that Folley might pull it out with just one right hand. He's got the sort of punch to do it with. London's first serious warning about butting. drop his arms. And he's slowed down almost to a standstill in this round. To watch Folley when you come out of these close quarter exchanges, because that right hand always comes shooting out as they break. It seems to me that Brian London now only has to keep on like this for the other 2 rounds and to not get careless to win this fight. He's had 2 world title attempts with Floyd Patterson back in 1959 at Indianapolis. He was stopped in 11 rounds, and of course in August last year with Muhammad Ali, 3 rounds. The other 4 men who've stopped him in his career are Henry Cooper, who once did it in 1 round, Nino Valdez in 7, Dick Richardson in 5, and Eddie Machin in 5. He's not an easy man to beat inside the distance. Quick look at Folley before he comes out for the 9th. 2 to go. Incidentally, in Phoenix, he lives in East Foley Street. They named the street after him. Roughing up inside. turnabout this fight has been. The first round, Folley was on top of London so much and hit him so easily with punches to the head that I honestly thought London would never get through 10 rounds. But ever since London began to come forward and crowd his man and keep close to him and keep punching, he's had a lot of success. And it looks to me as though Brian London now, barring accidents, is going to beat Zora Folley tonight and really put himself right back in big business. Here's the veteran, 35-year-old Zora Folley, whose career will virtually be at an end if he loses this tonight. This defeat, if it is a defeat here tonight, will not be received very well in the United States. So now, this is a last and dramatic and important round for Zora Folley. Has he at 35 now got the strength to come with a really big effort? Folley is going for the knockout. To go. Last round that was, and London's won it. London draped over the ropes, exhausted, but he's the winner. What a performance by Brian London tonight. He's beaten Zora Folley of America. And that is one of the best wins Brian London has had for a very, very long time. Tremendous performance by London. And that puts him right back on top in the business in this country. Brian London at 33 has outpointed Zora Folley of Arizona, the man who hasn't been champion of this country now for nearly 9 years, but tonight right back in business and obviously serving notice on everybody in this country and across the Atlantic that London is willing to take them all on again. What a win for him tonight. A tremendous performance by London against a Folley whom he gradually wore down. He hustled him and crowded him, and the veteran of America in the end was really too exhausted to do much about it. the jack with Brian London. And London leaves the ring to scenes that I should think he hasn't known for a very long time. People fighting to get to him to congratulate him as he leaves the ringside. He hasn't even stopped to put his dressing gown on. Now having the gloves taken off. A rather sad man tonight. And now we're trying to hear what the score is. Here it is.
48 3/4 points to Folley. 49 3/4 points to
London has won it by a full point, 49 3/4 to 48 3/4. And so, with that news that London's the winner, it's time to say goodnight to you from a very excited Liverpool Stadium.
Your appreciation for